Good evening. Dan Fitzpatrick here at Stock Market Mentor and now OptionMarketMentor.com. Hope you'll check that out during our initial trial period, which we're going to be changing in a few weeks. But anyway, I want to look at Facebook here. Now, last week I was talking about this as a volatility squeeze. The bands were kind of poking a little bit together. Stock moved up. It actually, you can't really see it too well here, but the stock moved up on pretty good volume. And that indicates to me that, hey, maybe all this is going to lead to more upside, perhaps a short covering rally and all that. And that's what I saw in the chart. Shoot, that's still what I see in the chart. Now, anybody who's listened to videos of mine other than like this one knows that I'm not a Facebook fan. I don't even have my account anymore. I got tired of it. But this whole thing about mobile is, big. So what? You're going to put ads on your iPhone that pop up when you're dealing with your Facebook, and you're going to click on that rather than just say, you know what, I just got this little tiny screen. Anyway, it's kind of in my view, kind of a silly thing. I'm probably wrong, which is why I'm not a billionaire. But here's the thing. The stock fell over 9% today, and I believe, you never know what really happened. What really happened is sellers got pretty aggressive today, but I noticed that, there's this article in Barron's that says, look, stock's still cheap. Kind of lists the same ones that I've been talking about, so there's nothing new here, but the stock is not cheap. It's still expensive. I think the guy said 12 or 15 bucks, something like that. And the stock takes a dive. So in my view, this volatility squeeze, that's over. Done. You know why? Now, we could get a bounce here, but I don't make predictions. I just trade. Here's why I say it's done. The whole idea of a volatility squeeze is the stock moves up because buyers need to buy some stock, period. They got to pay up for it. At some point, that initial buying wears off, and then the stock starts to drift lower, and then at some point, buyers come in again, and the stock takes off. That's those three phases of volatility squeezes. Phase 1's the breakout, phase 2's the pullback, and then phase 3 is the continuation. You could say, well, maybe that's what we're having now, Dan. We had our phase 1 here. Now we've got our phase 2 on the pullback. Now we're going to get a phase 3 up this way. Okay, that could happen, but this sell-off occurred on pretty big volume for a pretty big reason, and that is twofold. Number one, bearish Barron's article. Number two, nobody felt like buying the dip. The stock doesn't go down 9% if traders want to buy the dip. So here, this is my suggestion. If you're long the stock, good for you. I hope you bought it at the low. But as long as the stock stays above $20.36, which is today's intraday low, then I guess you're good. But just keep in mind that there are a lot of shares that are going to be freely trading in the next couple months. I forget the exact days. I'm sure about 98% of you guys know them. I just don't keep track of that stuff on this because I don't really trade Facebook. But just know that there are going to be a lot of shares that are going to be released for sale. And I don't think more than 2 or 3 of those folks are going to look at the stock and say, oh, it's down at $20. I think I'll wait till the shares get up to about 30 or 35 before I sell my shares. No, these guys aren't stock traders. They just own stock. And so they will be selling. That will ultimately push this stock lower. So again, I think volatility expansion pretty much done. We could see some support here. And in fact, some may say, well, I believe this is a good buying opportunity because look what happened the last time. You could very well be right. I'm staying away because I don't like this big sell-off on this big volume. And so if the stock falls any lower than this, if I were you, I would suggest getting back in the agnostic camp and go friend somebody else. Okay, members, over to the strategy session. Got a lot of stuff there for you.